Yeah, and welcome back to another episode of Airplane Mode. And today, you didn't think I had a name, but we came up with a name today. Well, I came up with, I was working, and then I was zoned out in my diligence, just working really hard. And then before I noticed it, like 2 hours went by. And I'm like, dang, ain't nobody call me or text me. No Facebook, Instagram notifications or anything like that. And I looked at my phone, it was on airplane mode. And that's when it hit me. I was like, that's gonna be the name, because nobody disturbed me. I had a peaceful moment, harmony, serenity, good life. Airplane mode, it's all of that. Even though I was mad that I had like 30 missed phone calls and 1,500 text messages, but that's when I came up with the name. But today, it's your boy, Baba Z Dawson, Julian Dawson Karsh. I got my homie, good friend, Ramel and Laren on here. You know, we're gonna be just chopping it up, just randomly going with the good vibes. So we can talk about religion. Matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up. That is a good topic, because last year I had a dream on the same day, August 14th. And that was the same day that I was on vacation. I had a dream of this white tiger, and it had one stripe on his body. It was a blue stripe on this tiger, and he was like creeping through my camp. And me and Jay was looking at the tiger from a distance, but we weren't really afraid. Like, the tiger didn't look aggressive. It was just like, looked like it was snooping around, just, you know, checking my camp out, like how I'm living. Like, it went into my little tent and everything, and then it walked out, and then it left. So I try to, you know, interpret the dream. I'm like, what does that mean? I Googled it, like, what does a tiger mean? And they said depend on the energy of the tiger. You know, if the tiger seemed violent, that means it's a bad thing. But if it was peaceful, that means it meant a good thing. But like, just recently interpret the dream, because she's going to school, like Bible school. So she learned that Yahshua, Christ, when he was on the cross being crucified, she learning that they beat him so bad. Like, they didn't just, it wasn't like a Mel Gibson. It was like, they made him like ball up, like bend his back so they can get every inch of his back. Because, you know, when you come like this, your skin kind of wrinkle up, and it'll miss some spots. So they made him bend,
tighten it up.
Yeah, ball up. They made him ball up, and they beat him, and they tore all his skin off his body except for one stripe. So he had one layer of skin on his back. And then that's when Shamika, she was like, that's what the white tiger, he only had one stripe. And that's why they say, you know, by his stripe we are healed. It's not stripes, it's by his stripe we are healed. And the tiger was Christ in my
Science,
dream.
chumps.
That's crazy, right?
That's dope, though. Yeah, that's dope.
So it took a whole year and the same exact day for me to figure it out.
You believe in Jesus Christ?
I don't believe in Jesus, but I believe in Yeshua Christ. I believe like the Egyptians of Horus. I believe that is like the original biblical story. But I think they did a spin off of it, made it seem like it was around that time with the Greeks and all of that.
Yeah.
I think the story's just been told over and over again. But no, I don't think it was Jesus. You know, that wasn't even his name. The letter J didn't even exist 500 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, who is Jehovah? You know what I mean? Who is Jesus?
Just think about the letter J. Like, other languages like Spanish, it's an H sound. Jose, Julio. Like, J don't really even have a sound to it.
Right.
It's almost like G. J, G, you know.
Like, even the true name of pronouncing God, true name is really, they don't say that much. They say Yahweh, but really it's Yoda. Like Jedi, Star Wars, Yoda. For real, like movies, I'm telling you, movies, they be knowing the truth. Like rappers and stuff, they can afford to find out the truth.
Yeah.
We only get what's tossed to us. We can only afford to the free stuff that we learn. Like the Bible is free stuff. The stuff like, you know, Jay-Z, Beyonce, they been learning they had to pay out the ass to get that knowledge. And that's why he been going by Hov. For how many years he been going by Hov? He ain't ever called himself Jehovah. He always called himself Hova. Like he already knew God's true name. So people are like, well, at least he's not calling himself God named Jehovah. He's calling himself Hova. He was actually calling himself God's true name, Hov. He was saying, I am God. And back then, people didn't even know, but he can afford that knowledge. So people that's in the Illuminati, I don't knock them. I think they're just on a higher learning level of, you know, spirituality, religion. They know the truth behind stuff.
They didn't like one.
Right, they're the enlightened ones. And a lot of people that's, you know, can't afford that knowledge, we look at them as like they're evil. They're evil, that's them devil worshippers, and they laugh at them people like they don't know what the hell they talking about. Let them think I'm a devil worshipper, you know, as much as they want. Like I know the truth, I'm enlightened. I can afford to learn the truth. I ain't gotta read that free stuff. You know what I mean? I gotta pay to learn this stuff. So I think that's what Illuminati is. I'm not supporting it. I don't know too much about it, but this is just my opinion.
They're like the Freemasons. They learned about like Moorish science and stuff. You know, the Moors, they kind of they was the ones who brought England out of the Dark Ages, Europe, when they was in the dark time. You know, they made fun about it now, like Dark Ages. But when you think about it, it was the Dark Ages because they wasn't enlightened. They was still living like in the, you know, real. According to what I read, they were living like in a real, you know, like wild phase, and Moors went into England and kind of helped them civilize stuff like farm animals and stuff. They'd be eating at the table, it'd be chicken running through the living room and all that, and that created like, you know, that created like plagues and stuff.
There's no class.
Yeah, so that's why, you know, the Freemasons, all that stuff, they just tap into a whole nother level of knowledge that, you know, that's just like education. You go to public school, you're gonna get the leftover little watered down education. When you go to private school, you're gonna get the real education. You're gonna get the, like when you go to Harvard and all that, like when you go to Georgia State, they're gonna teach you how to be, you go for business, they're gonna teach you how to be a business manager, work for somebody. If you go to Harvard and all them elite schools, they teaching you how to own a company and run that mother. You're gonna be the one that's gonna be employing mothers at Georgia State and Spelman, Morehouse, whoever. You're gonna be the one that's gonna get them jobs. So that's about a level of knowledge.
I'm telling you, it is. It's about the money too, man. Like if you can afford that knowledge. Like I knew this woman. She was enlightened for real, but her parents they could afford for her to get that education. Like she went to Egypt and went to a university there. Like she learned so much stuff. She learned mystic magics when you can really learn the science behind like the spiritual realm. It's really a science. She learned this science. She was actually teaching me this stuff. She told me that she went to the same college that Christ went to. You know, when in the Bible talk about where have you been, like it's a book missing of Christ's life. Throughout his whole teenager life,
he was in Egypt. Yeah,
he was in Egypt that whole time. And she went to that same university Jesus went to. He went to a college and he learned that stuff. And he came back and was like, I told you it had to be in my father's house. And he had said that to his mother and his stepdad when he came back. And he was gone for years. Like he was gone for years. She did the same thing. She came back to America with all this knowledge. She became like a 33-degree Mason or something like that. She was the one that allowed people to become Mason. She the one that was like, look, you got to do this, do that. And then boom, you in there. And then she turned her back on it because she was like, I can't believe I spent years learning all this knowledge just for me to get people into this, you know, cult. Basically, she felt like she knew too much. And she was like telling everyone like the truth. She was telling me everything, and she was like, she can't even live in a house because they trying to kill her. She knows so much they trying to kill her. She was living in hotels. She didn't have a job or none of that. She had nice clothes, jewelry, everything she did was like manifest. Like she really know how to manifest clothes, manifest money. She didn't want for nothing.
Yeah.
She was just on the run for her life. And every time I try to record her, remember I was secretly trying to record her? I don't think you remember, her name was Tahadara. But I'm sure that's not her real name, but that's how she said Tahadara. And she was on the run for her life. And every time I try to record her, it's like it wouldn't work. Like I would record the stuff she was telling me, and it just wouldn't pick up nothing.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, what the hell?
Man, you put Tahara in danger.
I'm sure that's not her. That's probably her new birth.
They probably look at the
name.
video like, oh, what's she
Tahara.
in? Tahara,
Yeah.
she in Clayton County.
I learned a lot from her, man, and I was just soaking it all in, and I'm like, dang, this is a real science behind this spiritual realm. Like it ain't magical like how they make it seem like it's a
let me ask
formula
a question
that you
then.
follow.
What you think about reincarnation?